Hey, ladies and gents, it's Zem from Shy Gaming, and I'm bringing you the review on the LA-11 Tier 8 Premium. So now I've did a British, and I've did a German, and now I'm going to bring you the Russian one. I just bought this plane. I thought, wow, you know what, I'll throw a little bit more money at the game and buy the Premium Tier 8 Russian fighter plane. This was a continuation of the LA-9. They were looking for a long-range escort fighter. It was produced starting in 1947 and until 1951. About 1,200 planes, between 11 and 1,200 planes were built. This saw most of its action in Korea, actually. It was used to intercept American bombers. Yeah, but unfortunately, anything over 25,000 feet, its performance really fell off, so it had a hard time catching B-29s and whatnot. In fact, I think at altitude took 26 minutes to get to that altitude or something like that, and then it only had like a 12-mile-an-hour speed advantage over the B-29s. The B-29s would just put it into a shallow dive and just fly away from it. So, not the best. So kind of an interwar fighter, during the beginning of the jet age. Of course, was soon after that replaced by the MiG-15. The North Koreans flew it. The Chinese flew it. I believe Indonesia flew it, and as well as the Soviet Union. So it wasn't, it didn't have a very historical military career as a lot of the other Soviet fighters did, because it kind of was in that between World War II, Korea, jet age was starting. So that's kind of where it fell at. The one we do have in game, however, is mounted with 323s. These are nice guns. If you haven't had a chance to use the 323s, these are some very nice guns. And you'll see on most of the higher tier, like except for the Yak-15, gets two 23 millimeters. You'll see it also on the end of their RB-17. They'll also have a 23 millimeters. So these guns become rather prevalent when you get into the higher tier Russian aircraft. So yeah, nice guns though. They seem to be fairly accurate and they hit pretty well. This plane, for most part, is a turn and burn plane. Of course, 944. Altitude performance is really poor. Same way with speed. Gun armament's very good. Survivability, not too bad. Not great, but it's doable. Once you're of course, into a turn fight, there's not a whole lot other than Japanese and, of course, some of the Russian planes, as well as the Spitfires at Tier 8. Other than that, it can handle just about everything else in a turn fight. Of course, with the 323s, it will light up Spitfires and Zeros fairly easily. That big cannon armament will just wreck Zeros. However, against obviously the Hayabusa line, it's just a little different story there. They outgun it, outmaneuver it, and everything else. But as a actual turn and burn plane, it does quite well. And if you like that turn and burn play style, which you really start dropping by the time you get to Tier 8 in just about every line in the game. I mean, of course, there's exceptions, of course, like the Yak-15s and that stuff. But majority of fighters start getting into that area. They start losing their maneuverability toward the jet side. This one doesn't. This one keeps up that nice turn and burn gameplay that if you do like, this is definitely a way to go. Do I like the plane? I give it a thumbs up. It's a fun fighter to fly. And I actually only played one game in it. I just thought, you know what, I'll give it a quick go over, make a video on it since I bought it last night. And the first game in it was not a bad 10,000 combat points, 304,000 silver, 8,733 XP. And I do believe somebody was asking about, they were looking at they like to look at this kind of stuff, so I thought I'd better put it up here for them to peruse exactly what happened in the game and how much coin you make off. So 10,000 combat score pretty much guarantees you a 300,000 credits. And I didn't even actually spend that much on on repairs, because I didn't even actually die in the game. It was a rather sad blowout. That does happen in World of Warplanes. Not quite as much as you see in tanks and warships, but you do get occasional blowout like this. Run pneumatic restarter. Control surface trim, because of course you lose your engine and your control surface in one of these turn and burn fighters, you're pretty much a dead duck to just about everything. Fire extinguisher, haven't really sure if I'm going to keep that or not, but I guess it's going to depend on what I'm going to with with the pilot skills. I have no pilot skills on it right now because this is a brand new crew, of course. I'll start training it and see what I'll eventually turn it into, what other fighter I might send it on. And of course, lightweight airframe and control surface adjustment. As for like the sights, probably not. Didn't seem like it really had any problem hitting anything. I'm gonna leave this third one open until I get a few more games in it. At this point, it's a solid tier 8. Against a Seafang, you're gonna eat it. TLs, as long as you can keep them down below that altitude, and you get in behind them, you'll be fine. Of course, it's a heavy, it's a multi-role versus this thing. That of course has the altitude advantage and whatnot. So yeah, thumbs up on this aircraft. If you're interested in a turn and burn type tier 8 plane, pick it up. As a premium plane, it makes great money. So I'll be bringing you the gameplay right about now. Alright guys, back with the gameplay with this La-11. We are, yes, going for the command center. Once again, low altitude fighter. You want to be up above 6,000 feet as little as possible. You want to make sure you're down here chasing these fighters, getting down low. Do not get, like before I said in the garage, this is not an altitude fighter. It does not do well above 6,000 and 7,000 feet. Of course, you can go up there, but, this bread and butter is down here in the bottom, shooting down other light fighters. With the armament, it does fairly well. Even against some ground attack planes, especially if you get a nice burst into it before your guns overheat. And these ones, they do overheat to a certain degree. Not too bad, actually, with the 23s. They cool down fairly quickly. Command Center's got no more planes, so I'm heading my way over here toward the airfield. And this is where it becomes rather interesting. We got a crap ton of light fighters in here to deal with. I'm always usually picking out my closest target, I should say, which is going to be this ME-209. And we're going to put some shells into him, stay on his tail, shoot him down. Oop, actually a TA-152, and get fucking rammed by my own bot. Them pricks. Whatever. Staying on the TA-152, get my first real kill of the game here. Pick out the KI-94. Surprising, he kind of went head-to-head with me, but he is a bot, so he doesn't really know any better. Come back around on him, and he's trying to run away. Put a couple more shells into him, finish him off, get my second kill of the game. We've got this one locked, as well as the command center. So yeah, I'm just going to sit here and hold this. I don't stray out long, many times away from targets. Unless there's nothing here to shoot. And fortunately for us, these guys spend a great deal of time coming back and back to this cap over and over again. So I'm just picking targets of opportunity here. And as you can, like I said earlier, the dispersion on these guns aren't really that bad. You can pick out targets fairly easily at distance and range. So you really don't. I mean, I'm not suggesting you can't put optics or sights on it, but for the most part, it seems like this doesn't really need it. The cannons stay pretty well grouped together, and they do hit. Puts up some nice damage rather quickly. Get it on the LA-9. He's fucked. Literally fucked. Finish him off, and then I see the big blob of red still coming here, and they're all back again, which is okay. If I don't have to fly away from this, I'm perfectly fine. From a strategic point of view, holding this air cap and being able to spawn right here is really important. And you'll notice, too, as we take out these pilots, my actual bot pilots are always spawning right here with me. So as long as I hold this, they're going to be able to come back in here and give me support if they die. Flip back over. And really, honestly, I didn't take much damage at all. except for that early very first ram. Get on the ME209. Can't let him give him away. He does have a significant amount of boost and speed. Flip back over. TA-152, same thing. Lots of cannons on that thing. Apparently his engine was shot to shit, and he dies. You constantly hear me here clicking X, looking for the next target, trying to keep targets within range. Of course, now you'll see me also too, you know, after I start killing some of these guys, I don't actually move up out of this altitude. I don't get above 5,000 feet most of the game. And there's a reason for that. You'll see me constantly flipping here, and you'll see the little red arrows up there. Anything above me, I just don't bother going up if I don't have to. There's plenty enough shit to shoot down here. Find the IL-40. That thing's a pain in the ass, especially from the rear, so I'm not going to stick around a little as possible. You know, get my burst in. Do a little bit of that, a little bit of this. His tail gunner's busy right now, so I'm just going to come in here and work him pretty hard from the rear. You know, get off a nice 400 damage in that pass. Flip back up over. He's only at 124, so there's really not much left for me to do here, except for finish him off. So flip back up and over. Looking up here now, and I got most everything's at altitude now, so I'm going to climb back up here and see if anything drops. Really doesn't lose speed too bad. I find once again the 209's back here. Apparently he not quite sure what he's up to here, but you notice even at this distance how accurate those guns are. It's kind of amazing, the 23s in the Russian line, how at least for the lead wise, it really don't have to lead. I don't know if it's because it's a higher velocity gun or what. The Yak-15, probably the most maneuverable, if not the most maneuverable tier 8, at least jet wise in the game, so he's always a threat. Not even going to spend the time up there to get up there and try to go for that bomber. Just going to sit on here. We've already won, so not even really much of a game. So I think I got one more, and I'll be bringing that up to you right about now. Alright, I finally realized that the garage review was almost as long as the actual replay, so I thought I'd throw a second game in here with the La-11 and kind of, yeah. Roll rate on this airplane is excellent, and it's always nice to have something that rolls really nice. And all the LAs actually do maneuver quite well like that. So we're going to move in here on the command center. They're going to try to take center. This should be interesting. Cover me and I will cap it. Hopefully that works out for them. I'm guessing not. We'll see. Get in on this guy here. Get rammed by my J4M. Lose a little bit of health. Pummel the A6M2. Knock him out. Come back over. Still looking for these guys. I want to get this finished off and try to get back to center to help these guys. And you notice, like I said, with these 23s, they have, for some reason, they seem like they have a little bit more range than a typical 20, 25 millimeter. Even the 30s, it seems like they have a little bit more range than the 30s. I don't know if this is just some Russian bias bullshit or, you know, the typical Russian conspiracy. So I leave the command center. There's nothing for me to do there. Heading towards center because there is a big shit ton of red baddies here. And we're going to start looking for some low health targets first. Come over the top here. Boost, boost, boost. Trying to keep my speed up so I can get here as quick as I can. And I start picking out targets. P-51H first. Kirk. Yeah. Beam me up, Scotty. I'm all over your ass. Get a couple good shells into the P-51H. Wait for it to cool down a little bit. Put a couple more shells into him. Keep checking my 6 all the time. Get a couple more. I mean, he's kind of outside of the red right now, but if I turn and leave him, I'm going to get shot in the ass. It's almost, yeah, it'll happen, and it annoys the hell out of me. Same with this BF-109Z. If I don't kill him, I'm going to regret it later. Turn around in here on the A6M2, get a nice shot into him, flip over, set him on fire, blow him up, boom, boom, boom. And what am I getting shot at by now? Another A7M. I'm on fire. Finishes. Yeah, A6M2. Seems like there's just been a plethora of Japanese planes lately. Everywhere you look, there's zeros, more zeros, or some form of, yeah, everywhere. Get on the A6M2. At this point, I mean, yeah, you get more points for knocking out, of course, knocking out actual enemy players, not bots, but he is close, so I'm going to give try to smack the crap out of him. Got a Yak 9U. They always, for some reason, he wanted to go nose to nose. That's fine. We'll finish him off. Turn around and, of course, get railed by the Focke-Wulf. Yeah, what a douche. Chase him down. 30s, like I said, these 23s, just, there's something about them. I don't know if it's their, and I've said in the other video too, it seems like they have a faster shell velocity or something. You don't quite have to lead like you do some of the other ones. Get a couple more on the Z, turn back up again here. Let my guns cool down. Finish him off. And flip back over. Got the Meteor down here. Yeah, there you are, buddy. I'm almost dead. I'm almost dead most of the game, so I just lucky, I guess. A7M flips over top of me. He's trying to get on my tail, I think, and it's actually a halfway decent bot. He's the one that set me on earlier, set me on fire earlier. Have a, of course, GA coming in, human control GA 329. Those are always a wonderful, wonderful thing with that rear tail gunner. Get a nice good pass into him, flip out because I really don't watch out for the popsicle stick tower there. Those are more deadly than the planes are. Get another nice pass into him. Pull back out. Hopefully I'm not going to take too much flak, but of course nail my engine. Leaves me on 6. Someone finally finishes him off. Well, I mean, technically that's 5 more health than I actually need, but you know, it is nice to have at least a little bit. And that's always a weird. Do you ever notice the weird sounds you get in these planes? All of a sudden, it's like something hits you, and you lose a few little hit points, and it's just like, well, what happened? There's nothing here that would actually shoot me, but I don't know, it's just strange. 109Z's back in here. He's been shot down twice. Well, actually, I think I've shot him down twice. I'm not sure what he's trying to do here. If he's trying to play, yeah, he's dogfighting. Pu-51D's all over his butt. Knocks him out. And the game is pretty well in hand so far. I mean, we're not even really struggling here. We got the bombers up. They haven't even taken a command center in the south yet. It doesn't actually look like they're going to be able to with the number of airplanes down there. So I kind of move off over here to the side over here. I'm hoping to take on this cap up here when the bombers drop. Hopefully there wouldn't be a whole lot to actually worry about. ME-329's back in the middle, but I'm going to leave the bots to it. I just don't have the health to deal with that stupid tail gunner. So I got an A7M. Bombers drop. They get all 5, and that's about the time I realized that, oh my goodness, it's me against all those three red players, 3 red aircraft. But I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to wait for the bots to pop, and those 3 bots and those 3 planes are not going to be wanting to deal with me. They're going to go after the bots. But about that time, of course, the J4M goes, you know, I'm gonna wise this up. I'm not gonna be your typical dumb bot and just fly into the objective and deal with it. Put a shell into him, flip over. We get air supremacy, and now I'm just kind of looking for damage as quick as possible here. Get in on the J4M, pummel him, start knocking HP out of him, and of course, if I can kill him, yep, there we go. Flip back over, and I got one more plane on my F7F because Eric, you know. He's coming around behind me, flip back over, and that's pretty much going to be Eric. We pretty much got this completely and utterly finished. So, that was a 8,470 combat, which netted me 247,000 credits. So, between this game and that other game with a 300,000, I made, you know, $500,000 in just 2 games with this airplane. So excellent moneymaker, nice turn and burn aircraft, nice guns. Yeah, of the 3 Tier 8s that I've did so far, I actually prefer this one to a certain degree. I mean, yes, this is a light fighter compared to a two multi rolls, but you know, for if you're just going to be doing dogfighting and that's what you really enjoy, this is not a bad aircraft, or you know, it's actually a really good aircraft. Um, so yeah, pick it up if you can. So guys, hope you enjoyed the review, and I will be bringing up some more tomorrow night. So good night, guys.